because I thought about it. I got to get my baby from work at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to start on chapter 5, calming the mind and body. Let's see, I need to leave about 10 till, so we'll be in this about 15-20 minutes. I am going to read verbatim and we're going to get right through it because this is going to be really, really good and basically self-explanatory. So tomorrow night, when I come back, um, we'll be able to talk more and go into more detail. Okay, so I'm going to chime right in and get right to it. So tonight we're going to be talking about calming the mind and body briefly for about 15 minutes. And then tomorrow night we'll be able to cut it up a little more. So it starts with meditation is rooted in the mystical and spiritual traditions that run through all religions. Yet undertaking a meditative path is not intended to divorce us from the world, but to find a greater quality of integration, calmness, and understanding within all of our life. Meditation is not intended to be a means or escape from ourselves or the challenges of our life, but offers a way to meet the variety of demands and interaction we encounter with skill and sensitivity. Even if we were tempted to retreat to a cave or monastery and live as a hermit, we would take with us our minds and bodies and their capacities for confusion, stress, and tension, as well as for serenity and clarity. The mountaintop hermit and the commuter on a train are equally concerned with discovering the pathways to calmness and peace. Hey family, hey, how y'all doing? I'm gonna be working tonight. I ain't gonna be lollygagging because I gotta go pick up my baby from work. So meditation is not only a mystical path, but also a path of relevance and application, teaching us the way to find balance and harmony in our lives and well-being and integration within our minds and bodies. Through meditation, we can learn the skills of finding calm and well-being in the midst of the stress, disappointments, illness, and pain we will all inevitably meet in our lives. We can learn to heal ourselves, our bodies, minds, and emotions, not through avoidance or suppression, but through mindfulness and understanding. We can learn to be at home in our body, our mind, and our life, free of anxiety and tension. We live in a world that holds vast potential for stress and tension. It is a world which also, for many people, becomes full of anxiety, apprehension, and confusion. Some of the challenges we meet are intrinsic to living. None of us have control over many of the events that affect our minds and bodies. Illness, pain, and loss are part of the human story. They are experiences that make a powerful impression upon our minds, hearts, and bodies. These changes that occur in our lives ask us to discover within ourselves deep levels of calmness and clarity so they do not turn into experiences and catastrophe and disaster that shatter us. There are other levels of stress created through the values of our culture and the manner of our own lifestyles. The stress of deadlines, time, the numerous demands that arise from our work or lack of work, financial stress, and the tensions that are born of competitiveness, ambitions, and the fear of failure can permeate all of our waking and sleeping moments. The relationships we are drawn to for intimacy and warmth they offer can equally be a source of stress as we struggle with issues of acceptance and honesty. Our relationships to food, self-image, criticism, and goals are all areas of potential tension and struggle. The stress that can emerge from all of these areas of our lives is experienced as anxiety. Hey, family. Hey, sis. Unease, tension, and reactivity that affect our minds and bodies. Caught up in a spiral of tension, caught up in the spiral of tension, harried by demand, we begin to find stress everywhere, becoming frustrated and reactive to the face of even small events and encounters that don't accord to our desires or timetables. If we find ourselves becoming impatient and angry with people we care for, anxious in the face of new challenges, waking in the morning with a sense of dread, or greeting small disappointments with a sense of disaster, we are caught in a spiral of stress. These experiences are messengers reminding us of the need to give greater care and attention to the quality of our lives. Checklist of symptoms of stress: sleeplessness, frequent headaches, neck pain, finding ourselves overreacted to small challenges and intrusions, strongly repetitive or obsessive thinking, feeling of anxiety or dread of being overwhelmed, overeating or overindulgence in alcohol, etc. We frequently cannot control the events and encounters of our lives. There will be moments of disappointment and failure, times of illness and loss, times when we are unable to achieve what we want. We are, however, not powerless in our relationship to these experiences in the ways that we receive and respond to the variety of challenges in our lives. Whether or not these challenges lead to stress, breakdown, and devastation, or are met with calmness and understanding, has much to do with the quality of mindfulness and well-being we bring to all of the changes and demands of our lives. We cannot control life, but we can powerfully influence how we meet, understand, and make peace with the challenges we encounter. We can learn to cultivate an inner refuge of calmness and clarity and develop the skills of relaxation, mindfulness, and well-being. Stress is unease, discontent, and tension. When we are stressed, we feel very distant from any authentic quality of happiness and well-being. Caught in tension and stress, we do not feel at home, at ease in our bodies or in our life. Not knowing the skills of undoing the tangles of tension within our minds and bodies, we attempt to escape from and avoid the discomfort of stress in ways that frequently lead to further tension and pain. We want to get rid of the painful elements and effects of stress, not seeing that resistance to what is happening in our bodies and minds only reinforces anxiety and tension. We must attempt to disconnect ourselves from the state of our minds and bodies through overindulgence in food, alcohol, drugs, or entertainment in a search for comfort and reassurance. Saturating our minds and bodies with consumption and distraction only serves to camouflage the stress we are in. It is not uncommon to see a person with every sense door engaged in consumption, eating, listening to music, reading, and moving all at the same time, and call this activity relaxation. Rather than a genuine relaxation, this saturation of the sense doors tends to be a temporary reprieve from the discomfort of feeling what is actually happening in our mind and body. We return to our lives with the same patterns of mind and body, such as anxiety, confusion, or ambition that create and accumulate new cycles of stress. Pursuing the path of avoidance or escape has the effect of further alienating us from our mind-body processes and escalating stress. One of the gifts of meditation practice is in teaching us the way to turn our attention directly to the stress factors in our lives and address them with calmness and sensitivity. Meditation is not a magical cure-all for stress, but it offers a clear and transformative way of learning to respond with greater skill to the demands of our lives. It is not a path of avoidance or of instant solutions, but it teaches us to turn toward the areas of stress, conflict, or confusion that are present in our lives and to learn to approach them with mindfulness, acceptance, and understanding. We can learn to be a conscious and active participant in cultivating the well-being of our mind and body. We can learn to foster an environment of healing within ourselves through calmness and clarity of understanding. Healing is different from curing. Meditation will make no promise to eliminate pain or cure chronic illness, but it can teach us the way of finding a sanctuary, of calmness and peace within ourselves, even in the midst of pain, conflict, or challenge. Changing our relationship to these moments in a way that we no longer feel powerless or victimized by them. The understanding we can reach through meditation and mindfulness will also teach us the ways to let go of the patterns of tension and reactivity that arise through being disconnected from our minds and bodies. The first steps in bringing an end to our stress and tension are learning to listen to our minds and bodies, to become intimately familiar with their life and the changes they undergo. We learn to be alert to the moments in our day when our bodies begin to tense and tighten, when our minds begin to react and resist, and we learn how to soften and calm in the midst of those moments. The fundamental unity of body and mind that has always been recognized in meditative systems is increasingly being acknowledged in medicine and science. Health is no longer considered just to be a bodily state of characteristic, but a state that includes both mind and body. Emotional pain is as much a source of suffering and stress as illness and debilitation. If we reflect upon a situation in our lives when we have been gripped by anger, furious at another person or event we have found ourselves in, we easily see the way that anger fuels endless thinking, resentment, and reaction. Physically, we leave the situation or person, yet we carry with us the endless residues of that encounter in the forms of remorse, resentment, and stress in both our minds and bodies. The churning of our minds is unmistakable, but the ways in which that anger is affecting our bodies are perhaps less obvious. The fight or flight mechanism is stimulated within our bodies through anger and fear. As our bodies tighten and tense, a sense of psychological events is triggered that lead directly to stress and unease. Mindful attention given to what is actually occurring in our bodies in times of emotional pain can help us to cut through the turmoil of our thoughts, hurt feelings, and confusion rather than being swept away by them. Rather than getting lost in the storms of our resentment and fear, we can learn to find a place of calmness and acceptance through connecting with what is actually happening within us, rather than being entangled in all of our ideas of how things, quote unquote, should be. We can learn to cultivate a simple and clear focus of attention within our bodies that becomes the foundation for calmness within our thoughts and feelings. Reflect on a time of great happiness in your life, a time when you felt deeply connected with nature or another person. The mind softens and opens. Thoughts are calm and loving. There's a heightened quality of awareness. What is happening within our bodies? There is a relaxing and calm and a clear sense of ease and well-being. What happens when our bodies are ill or in pain? Thoughts and feelings of fear, anxiety, dread, or depression frequently follow, which in turn influence our relationship to our bodies and the very way in which we experience pain itself often magnifying and intensifying the impact. In the absence of mindfulness and inner listening, many of our reactions become habitual and mechanical, and stress and tension find a home in our bodies. Patterns of stress, such as anxiety or self consciousness, become locked into our postures and our muscles, often manifesting a chronic pain and illness. In more extreme cases, this effect upon our body escalates in ulcers, headaches, back pain, high blood pressure, insomnia, and the whole range of illnesses that are a product of stressful living. The habitual nature of our reaction and ways of storing stress can be undone through attention and mindfulness. We can learn to listen with great care and sensitivity to our bodies, our mind, our behavior, and the ways in which we interact with the world. By coming to know our bodies and minds intimately through attention and sensitivity, we can learn new pathways of calmness, peace, harmony, integration, and respect. We may not be able to control the world, but all of us have the capacity for mindfulness and sensitivity. An important ingredient in learning to step out of the spiral of stress is the willingness to acknowledge that stress may not be intrinsic in all of the events, demands, or challenges we encounter, but primarily lies in the ways in which we respond to and receive those demands and challenges. To be faced with a deadline is for one person overwhelming, for another inspiring. The prospect of moving house leads one person to feelings of panic and another to feelings of excitement. Making a presentation to a large group of people may be greeted with terror or with a sense of challenge. The events that evoke feelings of helplessness in one person and evoke excitement and eagerness in another. I'm going to stop right there. I was going to skip around on this, but I'm not. I have to go and pick up my baby. But basically, y'all got it. I mean, it spoke for itself. I believe this chapter is the easiest chapter to understand for those of you that have to take a minute to comprehend. We can all relate to what this chapter is saying. We all deal with stress differently, and what meditation does for us, as it brings in the calmness of the mind and body, we have to recognize what's good for us and what's not. I want y'all to be mindful of that. Mindful meditation. I want y'all to be mindful of that and also be respectful of that when it comes to one another. Okay? Everybody's different. I always tell y'all that. And when we come to a day where everybody's able to honor and respect that, I believe this world will be a better place. But as we come to a close with this teaching tonight, I just want y'all to take a moment to be appreciative of what we learned thus far. And so, if I could just something I've given you tonight about this chapter, I want to challenge you. I want to put challenge out there to you. You may know already, but I am challenging you further than what you already know to discover things that you don't know. What am I saying? I'm challenging you to really hone in on and think about what brings stress and tension into your life. What are those triggers? What are those places in your mind, okay, in your life, that takes away your joy, that takes away your peace, that makes you anxious, that makes you stressed out, that makes you fearful? You need to recognize those areas, not in her life, not in his life, not in their life, but in your life. Even if you have to sit down and journal this. Because what? What I told y'all before, our lives matter. Okay? YLM, your life matter. Okay? But our lives matter as a whole, as a unit. Just really think about that. So today, as I come to a close today, I chose me. I'm doing a challenge in my band group for my clients. And, we're doing a 30-day challenge. And everybody has to do something magical every day. And so I thought about it. I was like, man, I didn't do nothing today. I didn't do nothing magical today. People say, yes, you did do something magical today. You chose yourself. Because there's some things that I'm not going to any longer tolerate from people. And also, I'm not going to tolerate any longer within my intimate relationships. I got to stand on, oh my. I'm trying not to bring up Cat Williams. But I want to stand on my square and do what's best for me. Because the way that I've been doing it has been causing me stress, anxiety. It does not feel good at all. 2 more minutes, I'm out. So that was my magical challenge that I did today. I chose me. If I don't want to pick up the phone, I won't. If I don't want to send a text back, I won't. If I don't want to respond, I won't. If I want to talk shit on my Facebook page, I will. If I want to encourage somebody in the background, you know what I'm saying? Today, I chose me. And I didn't feel bad about it. But the most powerful thing about it, family, and I'm closing out. And the most amazing thing about it, amazing means powerful, powerful means amazing, all of that together, is when you do something so phenomenal for yourself, and it works, and it brings healing to your life, it brings clarity to your life. Also, it causes you to respect what you bring to the table, and also challenge other people to respect what you bring to the table. The most amazing, phenomenal, magical thing is that when you show up for yourself, that you continue to show up for yourself. That's my 2024. I'm going to show up for myself. And when you show up for yourself, ain't shit nobody can say when they drop the ball and you dismiss them like a bad habit. Don't show up for yourself and drop the ball, baby. January to December. Keep showing up for yourself. So somebody come in, oh, let me help you. Let me love you. I see how you moving. And they see you rocking with yourself and they want to be a part of that. You warn them at the gate, baby. You want to be a part of this? What I say? My relationship vibe for 2024 is NDR. Steady love. You got to keep bringing that love steady. Intimate or not. Friends or lovers. Families or foes. Because foes be trying to step back in. Listen, this thing gonna be steady because I'm gonna show up for myself. If you can't show up for me like I show up for me, move the hell out the way. And so this is my challenge for y'all as we close out tonight. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night. That you recognize those areas, especially those relationships, that's taking away the peace and the calmness out of who you are. We're getting older. And anything that we don't need, okay, we need to get rid of it quickly, because that one thing that we don't get rid of quickly can cause chronic pain, chronic illness, chronic mental issues, and then we amped up for the rest of our life, and we cannot enjoy our days of our elder days. Recognize in your life. Show up for you. And don't allow anyone to step into that space, drop the ball, and give them excuses. We're not giving any excuses in 2024. Enough is enough of that bullshit. Period. Y'all know it was coming. You know I was going to go off. But that's what we doing. And I'm going to be encouraging y'all and reminding y'all, you choose you. Numero uno. Well, I got kids. I got a husband. Blah, 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 blah. Who was there before you got the kids? You. Who was there before you got the husband? You. Who was there before you got the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the fiance? You. Who was there? The only one that wasn't there before they got there was your mama and your daddy. You honor them a little more than you because they brought you into this earth. But anything after that, I said what I said. A lot of people gonna be mad this year, but a lot of people gonna be blessed this year. Choose you first, and that's what the fuck I'm doing. How about that? Okay, I'm done. That was good. All right, I love y'all. I see y'all tomorrow night. I done said my 10 cents. Hopefully by the end of the year be 20 cents. I love y'all. Thank y'all for chiming in. Tomorrow we're going to get it in because I'll be able to really, really talk. Okay? All right. Have a good night. I'm chiming out. Choose you. Numero uno. Ashe. I love y'all. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Love you, sis. See y'all tomorrow.